Houston, Texas, what up?
What up?
What up?
What up?
What up?
What up?
Hey, tell them boys to shut up.
Shut up!
Shut up.
Shut up!
Shut up.
Shut up!
Hey, tell them boys we here.
We here!
We here.
We here!
We here.
We here!
Hey, it's everybody, it's all you.
All you.
It's all you.
It's all you.
It's all you.
It's all you.
We right now. We right now.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Good Old Texans Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Jamarcus Goodo, and today we're going to talk about the Texans dominating the Browns 45-14. Man, this game started off a little slow. Both teams got the ball, styled out, had a couple punts. Then after that, Texans got the ball back, and then the points started rolling in. C.J. Stroud had a long ball to Nico Collins. He ended up beating Greg Newsome on a double move, got down in the red zone. Now, when we got in the red zone, I feel like Bobby Slow tried to get a little too cute. He had the little pitch play to Beck that almost ended in a disaster. Then he had a sweep to quarterback sweep run to the outside with C.J. Stroud. He got a yard. Then he had the play where he rolled out and tried to hit Nico Collins, and the defensive back made a great play on the ball. They ended up kicking a field goal. And then Cleveland ended up getting the ball. They had a nice deep shot to David Njoku. Where people tried to bash Steven Nelson on that play, but that was actually a good play by David Njoku. You know, he's a Pro Bowl tight end. They gonna make plays just like we're gonna make plays on both on our side. So I couldn't fault Steven Nelson for that play. That was just a good play by the tight end. Then they ended up scoring on that drive. They got in the red zone, ended up scoring, and we got the ball back. Pitched to Devin Singletary, 29 yards, and then ended up hitting John Mechie on the deep route close to the sideline for like 27 yards. And then the next play was the reverse to Nico. He got like 3 yards on that play. And then the fake, this one I feel like Bobby Slow started getting in his bag. He got the fake pitch to David Singletary, hit Nico Collins for 15 yards for the touchdown. Now, we ended up, the Browns ended up getting the ball back. They had a deep pass to Harrison Bryant. They split our two linebackers. Had like a 40-yard bomb to their tight end. They ended up scoring on that play. They ended up getting into the red zone and scoring. And then we get the ball back. One play to Brevin Jordan, who did a good job of selling the block. He blocked for 2 seconds, ended up getting into the flats. C.J. Stroud dumped it off to him. One cut, and he was off to the races. Brevin Jordan actually started off his speed on that play. Ended up getting a drug test after the game. They had the little drug test stick on his locker. So that was funny. That was crazy for them to drug test him after one play. But then, 76-yard touchdown. Texans get the ball back. That's when the defense, I feel like that play fired up the defense. And they start getting a couple stops. I think the next drive, they styled out. Derek Barnett got the sack. That was a nice sack by Derek Barnett. And our offense started rolling. I think the only times that they really did stop us is when we shot ourselves in the foot, or that goddamn number 6, Jock Okorosu, whatever his name is. He was everywhere making plays. You got to give him credit where credit is due. He was making plays. He was around the ball here. He was even in on the punt block. We ended up holding him because he was damn near from the block the punt. So he was everywhere. Good plays by him. And then, let's see. I got my notes right here, y'all. My bad. So then, Derek Barnett gets the sack. Then we end up getting the ball back. Texans started driving. Well, actually, we wasn't driving. They actually kind of pushed us back. We had a third and 13. And that's the play where C.J. Stroud ended up overthrowing the ball to Nico by half a step. He was half a step too far on that pass. He ended up overthrowing him. And we also had another play early in the game where Dalton Schultz dropped the pass. So like the offense really just shooting themselves in the foot. But other than that, we was actually moving the ball on the number 1 defense in the league. So boom, get the overthrow. Next play. This one I feel like Joe Flacco started getting brought back to reality after he took that hit by Desmond King. That's when his play started going down. After Desmond King hit Joe Flacco, and then he ended up spinning Rooney in on his head. that I feel like that kind of knocked Joe Flacco out the game a little bit. Like after that play, like that, for some reason the defense just started rattling, and Joe Flacco wasn't making as many plays as he was early in the game with the deep shot. So, and also C.J. Stroud was spreading the ball around. We had a couple of different receivers making plays. You had Mechie making plays. Hutchinson had a few catches. Dalton Schultz had a long touchdown. Nico Collins, who he's gonna ball. Devin Singletary caught a couple balls. So I feel like C.J. Stroud was spreading the ball around pretty good. Like over the last 3 games, or the games that he come back, I feel like C.J. Stroud see the game in a different way. Well, from when he came back from that concussion, because I feel like he had his the better of his 3 games after he came back from the concussion. And they also have been overcoming more penalties. Like usually early in the season, you'll see them. Hold on, early in the season, we'll see the Texans get a penalty, a hold, a false start, or incompletion, and then when they get behind the chains, and then the drop end up stalling out. But lately, they've been able to overcome penalties, overcome sacks, overcome tackles for loss in the backfield, and they've been able to overcome tackles for loss in the backfield and end up converting first down or even touchdown, because Dalton Schultz scored on a play that was second and 20 after they called the penalty from the hole and on the long Devin Singletary run. So the Texans have been done a good job of overcoming penalties, and whenever they do shoot themselves in the foot, they're able to make up for it. So kudos to the Texans on that. Next, I want to talk about the Amari Cooper versus Devin Singletary battle. Last game after he had the 265 yards, he went on his post-game talking about, he's unguardable, this and that. When actually, Stingley held him. It was 4 plays where him and Stingley was lined up. He only had 43 yards on Stingley. At other plays, he was on Steven Nelson, who was banged. He left that game with a foot or ankle injury. He was also battling a wrist injury. So Steven Nelson was banged up that game. He also had a couple snaps on D'Angelo Ross when he caught the long pass. D'Angelo Ross tripped over his foot. He got the long touchdown. Jimmy Ward was also out in that game. He went out after the 3rd play. So I was really ready to see that match, and I was hoping that D'Amico Ryans did put Stingley on him and let him follow him, and he did. He only had 1 catch for a -6 yards, so took him out the game. So that's all that unguardable talk. And then, however, I don't know how Stingley is not a Pro Bowler or All-Pro. That's absurd to me. From 5 picks on the season, and he played like 11 games. So that was absurd to me for him to not even get recognition. But I'm glad he was able to show everybody who was doubting him or whatever it was that he is a top cornerback in this league. And now, so I also want to talk about the Texans being able to stop screenplay. Like in other seasons, a couple of seasons ago, it seemed like the Texans was never able to stop screenplays, or they was never able to run screenplays. But now they reading their keys, they got their eyes in the backfield where they need to be, and they able to stop screenplays. There was a couple of times in this game where Joe Flacco was trying to throw screen passes to Kareem Hunt or to the wide receivers, and the Texans was blowing them up every time. So happy to see the Texans are able to stop screen pass, and it just shows you how far the defense has come from Lovely Smith and whoever else was defense coordinator Romeo Cornell. And also they couldn't even stop screens when Romeo Cornell was the defense coordinator. So I'm happy they also able to stop screen passes. Now getting to the second half, well, I didn't even get to the Dalton Schultz touchdown. The Texans was driving. Devin Singletary got a long run. They called it back, made it 2nd and 20, and then next play, boom, Dalton Schultz for a 30-something yard touchdown. Dalton Schultz has been a key for us this year. I hope he's able to come back. Been a valuable safety blanket for C.J. Stroud. I know he had a couple drops here and there. Sometimes he don't want to block. He was actually blocking pretty well in this game. Making plays in the run game, and also being able to seal off for a couple of runs for Singletary. Then we get into the third quarter. That's when the defense turned up even more. The Texans got the ball first in the third quarter. Got to like the third, like the 40-yard line, and it was a 3rd and 3. And CJ Stroud hit Nico Collins, and there go that number 6 again. Boom, hit him in the backfield. And that was also the next play where I was talking about the punt. We went out there to punt the ball, and he ended up getting that holding call on Dore Ungupawale. But it was an offset penalty because they got a penalty for lining up over the long snapper. So that penalty offset, and they had to repunt the ball. So when they ended up punting, Cleveland get the ball. They drive down the field. They ended up getting they get the first down. They keep driving. They convert a 3rd and 2 off of play action, hit Cooper. The next play, Derek Barnett gets in the backfield, forces an interception, and Steven Nelson takes it back 82 yards. And Derek Barnett has been a diamond in the rough for this defense. Ever since he came here, he was getting pressure. He's been getting sacks. I'm glad the Eagles let him go, and I'm glad we was able to pick him up when we did, because he's been a big help to this defense, especially with Jonathan Grenard and Will Anderson being in and out. He's been able to pick up and where they left off and pick up the slack. Next possession, this is the Christian Harris drive right here. First we get I think they got a little 2 or 3 yard pass, and then on 3rd and 2, they handed the ball off to Kareem Hunt. Then they got the swarm tackle: Christian Harris, Will Anderson, Blake Cashman, all in on the tackle. Forced the 4th down, which they had to go for. It was 4th and 2. Joe Flacco drops back. Christian Harris sitting on the route. If you watch the play again, he didn't move at all. He sat on the route. He watched Joe Flacco's eyes, and boom, he V-lined for the pick. Now, we didn't even see this pick in real time, because after the swarm play, I was at my brother's house. We were watching. He started doing his teaching tape, so we rewinded, and he was showing us how Will Anderson sealed off one block, boom, beat the next block, and was able to beat him to the punch and make the tackle. So as we was watching that play, we started fast forward, and we was like, hold on, we scored again. So we had to rewind it to see what happened, and that's when we seen the Christian Harris pick 6. So shout out to Christian Harris, man. I know he earlier in the year he kind of lost his snaps. I think they was playing like Henry To'o over him. He had lost a couple snaps, got back in the rhythm, and then once he got back in the rhythm, I think it was like the Buccaneers game. From there, he didn't look back. Started playing ball, getting sacks, TFLs, playing the run well, playing the flats well, and I'm just happy for Christian Harris to be able to step in and make plays. Then the next drive, they go for it again, and Christian Harris get the sack on Joe Flacco the very next drive. So Christian Harris started balling out. He started feeling himself. Then after that, they got the ball back again, and Petrie almost had a pick. Shout out to Petrie. Petrie has been playing well ever since he came back. Ever since he got benched in that Browns game. The next couple of games after that, he's actually been playing well. He's where he's supposed to be on defense. He's not making plays on the ball, but where he needs to be on the defense. He's blitzing where he's in the backfield. Shout out to Jalen Petrie being able to overcome them, getting benched, and then when he come back, he playing with a chip on his shoulder. He shows you why we get dropped in the second round last year when we did. Then there was the nail in the coffin, the Singletary touchdown, which made the score 45-14. So like after the game, all me and my brothers kept saying was 45. Man, we put up 45 on these boys, 31 points on the number 1 defense. CJ Stroud threw for 274 yards. He had 3 touchdowns in the first half, which 3 touchdowns in the playoff game for a rookie is a record. He had that in the first half. So had this game would have been close, he would have passed that record. He had a 152 passer rating. So CJ Stroud just balling out, man. I'm happy for CJ Stroud, happy for the Texans, happy that we're in this position that we're in right now. Can't wait to see who we play next, whether it's Kansas City, whether it's Baltimore. It really don't matter to me. I feel like we can match up against both teams. I feel like we can get a win. Not saying that we are gonna win, but I'm saying we can match up against both of them teams, and we can beat either one of them. I would rather see Kansas City because I know we can beat them. Their receivers are not that good, but I don't want to get too far into that right now until we see who we gonna play. But can't wait till the next round. Can't wait to see what we gonna do. Go Texans.